In the quiet of a Dominican chapel, surrounded by the flickering glow of candlelight, a man knelt before a crucifix. His face was filled with awe, his lips moved in silent prayer. Then, something extraordinary happened. His body began to rise, slowly, as if drawn upward by an invisible force. The friars who witnessed it froze in reverence and fear. The man was Saint Thomas Aquinas, the greatest theologian of the Middle Ages, and he was levitating before the image of Christ. To understand this moment, we must first understand who Thomas was. Born in Italy in 1225, Thomas Aquinas was a Dominican friar whose brilliance shaped Christian theology forever. His writings combined faith and reason in a harmony the world had never seen. His Summa Theologica became one of the most important works of philosophy and theology in history. Yet behind his intellect was a heart completely consumed by love for God. Every word he wrote came from deep prayer. But for all his learning, Thomas was also a man of deep humility. He called his work nothing compared to divine truth. His goal was not fame, but understanding the mystery of God. Those who lived with him said he often prayed for hours, sometimes forgetting to eat or sleep, his mind lost in contemplation of the divine. The event of the levitation happened near the end of his life. One night, while praying before a crucifix in the chapel of San Domenico in Naples, Thomas fell into deep ecstasy. His brothers heard his voice whispering as if speaking with someone unseen. When they entered the chapel, they saw him suspended several feet above the ground, his eyes fixed on the crucified Christ. The air was still. Time itself seemed to hold its breath. What did Thomas see in that moment? According to the witnesses, a voice spoke from the crucifix. It was the voice of Jesus Christ. The words, passed down through generations, were simple yet astonishing. You have written well of me, Thomas. What reward do you desire for your labor? Thomas remained silent for a moment, his soul overwhelmed. Then, with tears in his eyes, he answered, "Nothing but you, Lord." That answer reveals everything about him. For Thomas, truth was not a concept to be studied, but a person to be loved. His entire life's work, his thousands of pages of wisdom, were not about knowledge for its own sake. They were his way of reaching toward God himself. After this mystical encounter, something changed in him. Thomas stopped writing. He never completed his Summa Theologica. When his secretary, Brother Reginald, urged him to continue, Thomas simply said, "I can write no more. All that I have written seems to me like straw compared to what I have seen." From that moment on, Thomas lived in quiet contemplation, waiting for the day he would see the truth face to face. His levitation is one of many signs of how close his soul had come to heaven even while he was still on earth. The Church has always viewed it as a visible sign of divine intimacy, a moment when the weight of earthly reality gave way to the gravity of grace. Centuries later, artists and mystics still speak of that scene with wonder. A man of pure reason, the greatest philosopher of his age, lifted beyond the limits of nature, caught between heaven and earth, not through intellect, but through love. What can this miracle teach us today? In a world that worships intelligence, achievement, and productivity, St. Thomas reminds us that the ultimate truth is not found in books, but in the living God. Knowledge without love is empty. Faith without humility is blind. But when intellect and love unite, even the laws of nature may bow before the presence of God. If you ever doubt whether faith and reason can coexist, remember St. Thomas Aquinas. His life proves that the mind and the heart were never meant to be enemies. They were made to lead us to the same destination, the face of Christ, and perhaps that is why he levitated, because in that moment of perfect union, his soul had found what it was always seeking, and the body simply followed. Before you go, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss the next story of faith and mystery from the lives of the saints. Share this video with someone who thinks faith is only about belief, not knowledge. Let them see that true wisdom lifts us higher, sometimes even beyond the ground we stand on.